Welcome back to channel Top Coin, the ultimate destination for all things numismatic. If you're a fan of rare coins and have an eye for the fascinating world of currency history, you're in for a treat today. In this video, we'll be diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins from the mid-20th century, the 5 francs 1956 coin from Togo. From its historical significance to its market value, we're going to explore everything you need to know about this iconic piece of currency. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's start this numismatic journey. First things first, let's talk about the history behind the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin. The 5 francs coin is part of a series of franc coins that were issued by the French colonial government for its territories in West Africa, and Togo, as a French mandate, was included in this system. Togo, located on the western coast of Africa, was a French protectorate until it gained its independence in 1960. But before Togo's independence, it was part of French West Africa, a colonial federation established to streamline the administration of France's African territories. Between 1949 and 1958, French West Africa minted a variety of coins for use across its territories, including Togo. The 5 francs 1956 coin was part of this series, which means it was made for circulation in the region when Togo was still under French influence. It features designs reflecting the blend of French and African cultures during this period. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin. On the obverse, that's the front of the coin, we see the profile of a woman wearing a traditional African headdress. This design is symbolic of African heritage and culture, which was an essential theme in the coinage of the period. Above the woman's profile, you'll find the inscription République Togolaise, which translates to the Republic of Togo in French. The year, 1956, is also prominently displayed at the bottom, marking the coin's year of issue. On the reverse side, we find the denomination 5 francs at the center, surrounded by the inscription Afrique Occidentale Française, or French West Africa. Around this inscription, you'll also see a laurel wreath, which is often used in French coinage as a symbol of victory and honor. These simple yet elegant designs capture both the connection to French colonial heritage and the African cultural influences at the time. Let's talk about the specifications of the 5 francs 1956 coin. This coin was minted in aluminum, which was a common material for coins of that era due to its lightweight and low cost. The diameter of the coin is about 22 millimeters, and it weighs approximately 4 grams. Not only was the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin lightweight, but it was also designed for everyday circulation, making it a coin that was easily handled by the people of Togo and the larger French West African community. To truly appreciate the significance of the 5 francs coin, we need to understand the role of Togo within the context of the French colonial empire. Togo was one of the smaller, yet strategically located territories in West Africa, and it had a crucial economic role in the region. The use of French francs, including the 5 francs coin, was part of the larger French colonial currency system, which ensured that the local economy was tied to France's financial infrastructure. After Togo gained independence in 1960, it began issuing its own currency, but the 5 francs coin from 1956 remains a significant relic from the colonial era. So, you're probably wondering, how much is the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin worth today? Well, the market value of a coin depends on several factors, including its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. Typically, a well-preserved 5 francs 1956 coin might fetch anywhere from $5 to $20 in the market. Coins in mint condition, especially those without any significant wear, can command a higher price. In contrast, coins with scratches, discoloration, or other damage might be valued lower. However, considering the historical significance of this coin, it's still relatively affordable for most collectors. Now, while the standard market value for a 5 francs 1956 coin might not be astronomical, coins like these can become far more valuable over time, especially if they are part of a limited minting run, if they feature special features, or if they hold cultural or historical significance that grows as time passes. We've seen this with other coins from French West Africa, where collectors' interest peaks in the rarest examples. In rare instances, coins from this era can fetch higher prices at specialized numismatic auctions, particularly if they have historical significance or were preserved in pristine condition. Coins linked to independence movements or rare variations can often fetch thousands of dollars. Are you interested in adding the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin to your collection? Here are a few tips for collectors. Condition is key. Always inspect the condition of the coin. Coins in near mint or uncirculated condition will command a higher price. Buy from reputable dealers. When buying coins online or in person, make sure to work with trusted dealers who provide certificates of authenticity. Store your coins properly. Coins should be stored in dry, cool places, preferably in protective holders or cases to avoid any damage that could reduce their value. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin. From its historical roots in the French colonial system to its current market value and significance, this coin is a fascinating piece of numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of coins, the 5 francs 1956 Togo coin is definitely a treasure worth learning about. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of numismatics, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to stay updated with all our latest videos. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating coin from the year 1957, the 25 franc from Togo. We'll explore its market value, its rich history, and why this coin is considered not just an interesting piece of currency, but also a real gem in the world of numismatics. So, sit tight, grab your favorite snack, and let's get started. Here it is, the star of today's show, the 25 franc coin from Togo, minted in 1957. It's a stunning piece with historical significance, and it carries a story far beyond just its metallic composition. Before we talk about the coin itself, let's set the stage with a little bit of history. Togo, located in West Africa, has a fascinating past. At the time the 25 franc coin was issued in 1957, Togo was a French protectorate, part of French West Africa. French colonial rule had a significant impact on the country's economy, and currency was a vital part of that system. In 1957, Togo was on the brink of gaining independence, which would come just a few years later, in 1960. The coin itself was part of the French West African franc system, which was used by a number of countries in the region. Now, let's talk about the design of this coin. The 25 franc 1957 Togo coin is beautifully crafted, and its design is filled with symbolism. On the obverse, we see the French Republic's emblem, a depiction of the rooster, a symbol of France. This was a common motif used on French coins during the era. The reverse of the coin features an image of a traditional African mask, reflecting Togo's cultural heritage. This design represents the blend of local traditions and the colonial influence at the time. It's a striking visual reminder of Togo's unique position in history during the mid-20th century. The weight of the coin is approximately 10 grams, and it's made from a copper-nickel alloy. It has a diameter of about 29 millimeters, making it a medium-sized coin. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. What is the market value of the 25 franc 1957 Togo coin? Well, the value of this coin depends on several factors, including its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. For example, if you find one in circulated condition, you might expect to pay somewhere between $10 to $25 for it. But if the coin is in uncirculated, mint condition, the value can skyrocket, sometimes reaching up to $100 or more, depending on the market and buyer interest. Coins like the 25 franc 1957 can also see significant appreciation over time, especially if they're part of a limited mintage or have historical significance. Auctions have seen rare versions of this coin go for upwards of $150, depending on the bidder interest and the coin's grading. Now, how do you identify an authentic 25 franc coin from Togo, especially since there are counterfeits out there? It's important to know what to look for. First off, the coin should feel solid, as it's made of a copper-nickel alloy. Fake coins often use cheaper metals, so they might feel lighter or less durable. Next, you can check the weight of the coin. The authentic 25 franc coin weighs around 10 grams. If it's off by more than a gram or so, there's a chance it could be a counterfeit. Also, closely examine the details of the design. Counterfeits often have blurry or poorly defined images. The French rooster and African mask should be crisp and clear, with no signs of fading or smudging. Coins like the 25 franc 1957 aren't just valuable because of their market price. They carry with them a piece of history. In a way, they serve as time capsules, snapshots of a moment in history of a country on the brink of transformation. Consider this. Togo was about to become an independent nation, breaking away from colonial rule. This coin was minted in the final years of French dominance over the region. Owning one is like holding a tangible reminder of that period of change. If you're looking to buy or sell the 25 franc coin from Togo, there are several places where you can start your search. Online marketplaces like eBay, numismatic, and other specialized coin-selling platforms often list rare and collectible coins like the 25 franc. You can also find them at local coin shops, numismatic conventions, and specialized coin shows. If you're selling, always make sure to get an expert opinion on the condition of your coin, as this can significantly affect its value. At the end of the day, the 25 franc coin from 1957 Togo is more than just a piece of metal. It's a symbol of a nation's history and the unique intersection of African heritage and colonial influence. It's a collectible that not only adds value to a collection, but also tells a powerful story of a country's journey to independence. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector, a history lover, or someone new to the world of numismatics, I hope you've learned something new today. The 25 franc 1957 Togo coin is a fascinating piece of history, with a lot of stories to tell and a bright future in the market. Who knows? You might even find one of these gems in your own collection someday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future videos. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history and potential worth of a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, or even hidden in a drawer somewhere at home. We're talking about the 1 franc 1924 coin from Togo. It's more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable historical artifact, and its market value may surprise you. So, stick with us as we explore the rich story behind this coin, its historical significance, and why collectors and numismatists are so eager to get their hands on one. To understand the 1 franc 1924 Togo coin, we need to take a step back in time to the early 20th century. Togo, located in West Africa, was under French colonial rule in the years leading up to the 1920s. In 1914, after World War I, Germany lost control of its colonies, and Togo became a French protectorate. During the colonial period, French West Africa, including Togo, used the French franc as its official currency. The French government, along with the colonial authorities, started issuing coins that bore both local and French influences. The 1 franc coin we're discussing today was first minted in 1924. It marked an important time in Togo's colonial history and reflects the transition from a German colony to French rule. Now, let's talk about the design of the coin itself. The 1 franc coin from 1924 is made of a bronze-like material, giving it a distinctive reddish-brown hue. It has a diameter of 21 millimeters and weighs around 5 grams, making it a fairly small coin, perfect for everyday use at the time. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll notice the image of Marianne, a symbol of the French Republic, representing liberty, equality, and fraternity. The inscription, République Française, or French Republic, is written around her image. The date, 1924, appears beneath her, signifying the year of minting. On the reverse, we find the denomination, 1 francs encircled by a laurel wreath, symbolizing victory and honor. The coin's design embodies the strong ties between Togo and France during the colonial period. Interestingly, the mint mark can be seen on the reverse as well, indicating where the coin was produced. During its time of circulation, the 1 franc coin was used primarily in daily transactions, especially in markets and local commerce. As we look back at Togo's economy in the 1920s, it was largely agrarian, with cocoa, coffee, and palm oil being the main exports. The French colonial government relied on local labor to cultivate these crops, and the 1 franc coin served as a vital part of the transaction system. At the time, 1 franc could buy a lot more than it would today. However, the currency didn't have the same purchasing power for local people that it did for the French colonial administrators. While the French franc was meant to stabilize the economy, the local population was still heavily dependent on traditional forms of barter and exchange. So, why is the 1 franc 1924 Togo coin so valuable today? Well, there are several factors at play here. First, it's important to understand that the coin is a rare collector's item. Due to the limited number of coins produced and the passage of time, finding a 1 franc 1924 coin in good condition is increasingly difficult. The value of such a coin is driven by its rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand from collectors. The condition of the coin plays a big role in its market value. Coins that are in excellent condition, with minimal wear and tear, can fetch a much higher price than those that are worn or damaged. A coin with full mint luster, sharp details, and no visible scratches or dents is considered more valuable to collectors. Let's take a look at what you might expect to pay for a 1 franc 1924 Togo coin today. While prices can fluctuate based on condition and demand, a typical 1 franc 1924 coin in average condition may sell for around $10 to $50. However, if the coin is in exceptional condition, such as being graded as a mess, 65 or higher, it could command a price of $200 to $500, or even more. To give you an example, some of these coins have been sold at auction for over $1,000 when they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. In recent years, demand for historically significant coins, especially those from former colonies like Togo, has been rising among collectors and numismatists. This has contributed to the overall increase in value. Beyond its financial worth, the 1 franc 1924 coin is also a piece of history. It's a physical reminder of Togo's colonial past, representing the complex relationship between the French Empire and the people of Togo. As a collector's item, it stands as a testament to the broader history of French West Africa, offering insight into the colonial monetary system and the lives of those who lived during that time. Coins like the 1 franc from 1924 help us connect with the past, offering tangible links to historical events that shaped entire nations. While the coin itself may not have been of immense value in its time, today it serves as an important cultural and economic artifact. Before you go rushing to your coin collection, it's important to know how to properly identify and authenticate the 1 franc 1924 coin. When examining your coin, make sure to check for the following key features. First, check the obverse for the image of Marianne, which is an iconic symbol of French national pride. Next, look for the inscription République Française around her. The date, 1924, will be beneath her, and the reverse will feature the denomination 1 franc surrounded by a laurel wreath. Additionally, be aware of counterfeits. Due to the growing value of these coins, replicas and counterfeit versions do exist. If you want to ensure the authenticity of your coin, it's best to have it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic organization or coin dealer. The 1 franc 1924 Togo coin is more than just a relic of the past. It's a fascinating artifact that tells the story of colonial Africa and its complex relationship with France. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, this coin represents an exciting opportunity for both historical exploration and financial gain. Thank you for watching today's deep dive into the 1 franc 1924 Togo coin. If you found this video interesting, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more numismatic content, and leave a comment below if you have any questions or if you've ever come across this coin in your collection. Today, we've got something very special for you. A coin that carries with it not only historical significance but also substantial market value. That's right, we're talking about the 50 franc coin from 1924, specifically from Togo. In today's video, we'll explore the history, design, significance, and market value of this remarkable piece of currency. Stick with us as we uncover its journey through time and why this coin is worth so much more than just its face value. Let's start by setting the stage for the 50 franc coin from 1924. First things first, Togo. Where is Togo? Well, Togo is a small country located in West Africa, bordered by Ghana to the west, Benin to the east, and Burkina Faso to the north. The history of Togo as a colony is key to understanding the coin itself. In the early 20th century, Togo was a German colony. However, after World War I, the Treaty of Versailles in 1919 led to Togo being placed under French and British mandates. The French-controlled region of Togo issued its own currency, and that's where the 50 franc coin comes into play. In 1924, the French colonial authorities in Togo issued the 50 franc coin, and it wasn't just a regular currency coin. It was a piece of a larger system that reflected Togo's status under French rule. But there's more to the story than meets the eye, so let's dive into the coin's design. which is where things get really interesting. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1924 50-franc coin. This coin features some key elements that set it apart from many other coins issued during the colonial era. On the obverse, we see a striking depiction of the Mary Ann, the personification of the French Republic. She is portrayed as a symbol of liberty and reason, and you'll notice her wearing a Phrygian cap, a well-known emblem of freedom and revolution. Surrounding Mary Ann are the words République Française, meaning French Republic. On the reverse side, we see the denomination 50 francs, along with a depiction of a laurel wreath. The wreath was a traditional symbol of victory, honor, and achievement in ancient Greece and Rome, used here to represent the power and stability of the French colonial system. At the bottom of the coin, you'll also find the mint year, 1924, which helps to date this historical piece of currency. The 50-franc coin was made of a composition that included a significant percentage of silver, which gave it a solid weight and a distinct appearance that made it highly desirable not just as currency, but also as a collector's item. The quality of its design, the symbolism, and the use of silver make this coin an extraordinary artifact of the colonial era. To fully appreciate the value of the 50-franc coin from 1924, it's essential to understand the historical context behind it. After World War I, many African nations were subjected to European colonial powers. Togo, which had previously been a German colony, became a French Mandate territory. The French government introduced currency in the form of the 50-franc coin to help stabilize the economy in the region, while also reinforcing its control over the territory. Coins like these were not just a means of trade. They were also tools of influence, with their design and minting reinforcing the power of the French Empire in the region. For Togo citizens and local businesses, the 50-franc coin played a role in everyday life, circulating in the markets and becoming part of the daily economy. However, it wasn't long before coins like this started to have a greater significance. As the years passed, the political landscape in Africa began to change, and Togo eventually gained independence in 1960. This coin, therefore, also represents a snapshot of a time when Togo was still under colonial rule, a period that many Africans today view with mixed feelings. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of today's video, the value of the 50-franc coin from 1924. This coin's worth has seen dramatic changes over the years, and understanding its market value requires us to look at a few key factors. First and foremost, the rarity of the 50-franc coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins from Togo, especially from the colonial period, were minted in relatively small numbers compared to coins from other regions. Additionally, the 1924 coin represents a specific moment in history, making it a rare collector's item. Over the years, this coin has been featured in numerous rare coin auctions. Depending on the condition of the coin, whether it's in good, very fine, or extremely fine condition, the market value can fluctuate. A coin in pristine condition can command a premium price, especially when it is graded by professional numismatic organizations such as the NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. As of recent years, the market value of a 50-franc coin from 1924 can range anywhere from several $100s to well over $1,000, depending on factors such as condition, provenance, and demand. A coin in mint condition, perhaps one that has never been circulated, can sometimes be sold for upwards of $2,000 or more. What's fascinating about the 50-franc coin from Togo is that it is part of a larger trend in the world of numismatics. Coins from former colonies are becoming increasingly sought after by collectors who are fascinated not only by their rarity, but by the stories they tell about the past. This coin, with its rich history, French influence, and cultural significance, has become a prized piece for both collectors and investors alike. So, why is the 50-franc coin from 1924 worth so much more than its original face value? Well, it all comes down to several key factors. First, the coin is rare. Coins like this one weren't produced in mass quantities, and many have been lost or damaged over time. Second, the coin is historical. It encapsulates a specific moment in time during the colonial era, which makes it valuable to collectors interested in the history of African nations under European control. Third, the coin is highly symbolic. The design, featuring Mary Ann and other elements, speaks to the power and symbolism of the French Republic at the time. For numismatists, this connection to history and power makes the coin not just a piece of metal, but a tangible link to the past. Lastly, we have to acknowledge the role of collectors. Over the years, rare coins like the 50 franc from 1924 have become part of a global hobby and investment market. With increasing interest in African history, colonialism, and the legacy of European empires, the coin has become a symbol of this complex past, and for many, it holds a deep, historical resonance that goes far beyond its material worth. So there you have it, the fascinating history, design, and market value of the 50 franc coin from 1924. It's not just a piece of currency. It's a tangible connection to a significant era in African history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, this coin holds tremendous value, both financially and historically. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins, or if you're considering adding it to your collection, you're holding a piece of history. Thanks for watching today's deep dive into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more exciting content, and share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of a rare coin that holds a deep history and significant market value, the 10 franc 1957 Togo coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the hidden treasures of the past, this video will take you on a journey through the origins, value, and stories behind this remarkable piece of currency. Imagine yourself stepping back in time to the year 1957, a significant year for both the world and the nation of Togo. In this video, we'll uncover how this small yet powerful coin became an essential part of Togo's history, the intricate details that define it, and why it's so sought after today. To understand the significance of the 10 franc coin minted in 1957, we need to first understand the historical context. Togo, located in West Africa, was a French colony until it gained independence in 1960. During this colonial period, the country used the French West African CFA franc as its official currency. However, as Togo approached its independence, there was a need for a coin that would not only serve the economy but also symbolize the nation's growing autonomy. In the 1950s, many African nations were under colonial rule. However, the post-World War II era marked a period of significant change for many African countries, with movements for independence gaining momentum. For Togo, the 1957 10 franc coin was one of the last steps in the colonial currency system before independence arrived just a few years later. The 10 franc coin issued in 1957 is part of a series of coins that were minted during the transition period. It represents the era where Togo was still under French administration, but signs of change were already visible in the country's path towards independence. The coin has elements from both French colonial designs and local Togo influences, a mixture that symbolizes the country's blend of heritage and colonial ties at the time. Now, let's focus on the physical aspects of the coin itself. The 10 franc coin from 1957 is a beautiful representation of mid-20th century coinage. Its design reflects a balance between French influence and African identity, making it a true historical artifact. On the obverse side, we see the central engraving of the denomination. 10 francs surrounded by a wreath of laurel leaves, which symbolizes victory and peace. The French inscription at the top reads République Française, which was common for French-controlled colonies during that time. On the reverse side, the design is a bit more unique. We see the name of the country Togo, along with the year of mintage, 1957. This is a subtle but powerful mark of the local identity and the nation's connection to its colonial past. The coin is made of an alloy of copper-nickel, which was common for currency at the time, giving it a silvery appearance. Now let's talk about the big question. What's the current market value of the 1957 Togo 10 franc coin? In recent years, the market for vintage and rare coins has exploded, with many enthusiasts and collectors eager to own pieces of history. The 10 franc coin from 1957 has become one of those sought-after items. At its face value, this coin was worth 10 francs, a small amount in its time. However, in the world of numismatics today, the value of the 1957 Togo 10 franc coin can vary depending on factors like its condition, rarity, and whether it has been well preserved. On average, these coins can be found on the market for anywhere between $15 to $100, with the highest prices being for those in pristine or uncirculated condition. Coins that are graded in mint state, meaning they have almost no signs of wear, can fetch higher prices, especially if they are part of a collector's set or come with historical documentation. Coins like these are highly valued, not just for their material worth, but also for their historical significance. In rare cases, the 1957 10 franc coin has even sold for over $200 at specialized auctions, especially if it is a particularly rare variant or in immaculate condition. Such examples show that the world of coin collecting can sometimes take coins far beyond their original monetary worth. So, you've got your hands on a 1957 Togo 10 franc coin, or you're thinking about adding it to your collection. What's next? First, it's important to protect your coin. The best way to do this is to keep it in a protective coin holder or case. These are readily available at most numismatic shops or online. Using cotton gloves when handling the coin can prevent oils from your fingers from damaging the surface. Cleaning the coin is generally discouraged unless you know exactly how to do it, as improper cleaning can reduce the coin's value. The 10 franc 1957 Togo coin, while no longer in circulation, remains a cherished piece of Togo's numismatic legacy. It stands as a reminder of the country's transition from a colonial past to an independent future, a small but significant marker of Togo's place in African history. Today, Togo has its own currency, the West African CFA franc, used by several countries in the region. But the 1957 Togo 10 franc coin holds historical value, reminding the world of the nation's journey to independence. As we wrap up today's exploration into the 10 franc coin from 1957, we hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for this small yet significant piece of history. It's not just about the monetary value. It's about the stories it tells, the history it represents, and the legacy it carries with it. Whether you're a numismatist, a history lover, or simply someone who appreciates the beauty of rare coins, the 1957 Togo 10 franc is a true treasure worth preserving and celebrating. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more historical deep dives into fascinating coins from around the world. Today, we're going to dive deep into a fascinating coin that has captured the interest of numismatists, collectors, and history enthusiasts alike: the 2 franc 1925 Togo coin. If you're passionate about coins, history, or just enjoy learning about interesting collectibles, you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll explore the Togo 2 franc coin from 1925, its history, market value, and some astonishing stories about how much this coin could be worth. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about rare coins, this is definitely a video you won't want to miss. The story of the 2 franc coin from 1925 starts in Togo, a country in West Africa. Back in the early 20th century, Togo was a German protectorate, and it wasn't until after World War I that Togo was placed under French control, a part of the League of Nations mandates. During this period, Togo's currency was closely tied to France, and French influence dominated many aspects of life. In 1925, as part of its ongoing economic adjustments under French administration, Togo issued its own coins, though they were often in line with French colonial currency policies. The 2 franc coin, struck in 1925, was part of this series. This coin was designed with a mix of French numismatic tradition and elements specific to Togo's colonial history. But let's look at the coin itself and understand why it's so special. As you can see, the 2 franc coin from 1925 is a piece of numismatic art. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the inscription République Française, French Republic, and the date 1925. This ties the coin directly to France, even though it was circulated in Togo and other French colonies. The reverse side is where the distinctive elements of the 2 franc coin from Togo come into play. We see the French denomination 2 francs, surrounded by a laurel wreath, symbolizing victory and honor. What's unique about this coin is that it combines French imagery with the local importance of Togo. The Togo mint mark and other smaller details make it an important piece for collectors interested in the colonial period. Coins from this era often feature intricate designs, and the 1925 2 franc coin is no exception. It represents a fascinating blend of French numismatic tradition with the colonial history of West Africa. The craftsmanship on these coins can be quite remarkable, which is why they are so sought after by collectors. Now, let's dive into one of the most intriguing parts of the 2 franc 1925 Togo coin: its market value. Coins from this era can vary greatly in price, and several factors contribute to their worth. When it comes to the Togo 2 franc, there are several key factors that determine its value. The first, of course, is its rarity. The 2 franc coin was only minted for a few years in the early 1920s, and relatively few survived the passage of time, making them quite rare. In addition, the coin was used in a very specific region under French colonial rule. Condition also plays a significant role in determining the value. Coins that are in excellent condition, with minimal wear and tear, fetch much higher prices than those that are worn or damaged. Coins that have been preserved in mint or near mint condition are particularly prized by collectors. And then, of course, there's the historical context. The 1925 Togo 2 franc coin is not just valuable for its rarity or condition. It's valuable because it holds a deep historical significance. This coin represents the intersection of colonial history, economic systems, and numismatic traditions. In recent years, 2 franc coins from 1925 have sold for impressive amounts at auction. Depending on the condition, they can range from $100 to $300 for average examples, but those in near mint or mint condition have been known to fetch $1,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right. Some of these coins can go for over $1,000. But don't get too excited just yet. Remember, condition is everything, and a well-preserved coin is the real treasure. So, why are coins like the 2 franc from 1925 still commanding such high prices today? It's not just about the rarity and historical importance. It's about the lasting appeal of coins as a form of money, art, and history. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, has always been a popular hobby, but in recent decades, the value of rare coins has skyrocketed. People are increasingly looking for unique and tangible ways to invest their money, and rare coins represent both a store of value and a connection to history. Some collectors are drawn to coins like the 1925 Togo 2 franc because of their historical significance, while others are simply in it for the investment potential. In any case, these coins continue to hold tremendous worth in the numismatic market. But it's not just about the money. Each coin tells a story. The Togo 2 franc isn't just a piece of metal. It's a reminder of an era long past, an era of French colonialism and the economic systems that shaped the world in the 20th century. So, whether you're a collector, an investor, or simply someone with an interest in history, the 2 franc 1925 Togo coin is a fascinating piece to own. It represents a unique moment in time, and its historical and monetary significance makes it a true gem in the world of numismatics. If you're looking to get your hands on one, remember that the value of these coins depends on their rarity, condition, and overall demand in the market. Be sure to research thoroughly and purchase from reputable dealers. There's no rush. After all, the value of such a coin only grows with time. So, next time you come across a coin from the early 20th century, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history in your hands, one that could be worth much more than you think. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 2 franc 1925 Togo coin. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content about coins, history, and collectibles. Today, we've got a fascinating topic to dive into, one that involves both history and monetary value, as well as an incredible journey that takes us back nearly a century. In today's video, we'll be talking about a very unique coin, the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin. If you're a fan of rare coins or simply curious about their history, you're in the right place. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the market value, history, and the incredible worth of the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of its market value and historical significance, let's start by examining the coin itself. The 1 franc 1925 Togo coin is an essential part of French colonial history. Togo, a country located in West Africa, was once under French rule. This coin is one of the many tokens of currency that were minted during the period when Togo was a French mandate following World War I. This coin is a rare and important artifact that represents both the colonial era and the economy of Togo during the 1920s. The 1 franc coin, minted in 1925, was part of a series that was issued by the French government to standardize currency in their colonies. It was produced with an intention to stabilize the economy of Togo after the end of World War I, which had thrown many colonial economies into uncertainty. Togo, after the war, found itself under the League of Nations mandate, transitioning from German rule to French control. French authorities sought to unify the currencies of their African colonies, so coins like the 1 franc 1925 Togo were minted to replace the previous German colonial money and create a more standardized system across French-speaking African territories. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin. On the obverse side, we have a simple yet powerful depiction of the Marianne, the symbol of the French Republic. She is portrayed as a bust, wearing a Phrygian cap, which is a traditional symbol of freedom and revolution in France. The reverse side of the coin features the inscription 1 franc, along with Togo, in the year 1925. The design also includes the traditional French inscription Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, liberty, equality, brotherhood, the motto of the French Republic, reminding us of the overarching political ideals of the time. The coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy, with a diameter of 23 millimeters and weighs 5 grams. The coin's aesthetic may seem simple, but it reflects the strength of French ideals and the practicality of the time when it was minted. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin so special, and why should collectors care about it? Let's step back in time to understand the historical context behind the 1 franc 1925 coin. Togo, before World War I, was a German colony. However, after Germany's defeat in the war, the League of Nations divided up its former colonies among the victorious powers. Togo became a French mandate under this arrangement, with France assuming administrative control over the country. During this time, French authorities worked to integrate Togo into the broader French colonial system. This meant imposing new policies, introducing French law, and crucially, introducing French currency. The 1 franc Togo coin was one of the early representations of that integration. In essence, this coin wasn't just currency. It was a symbol of the changing geopolitical landscape of West Africa during the early 20th century. Togo was an important part of the French colonial empire. Despite being one of the smaller colonies in West Africa, it played a vital role in the production of raw materials, including agricultural products like cocoa and coffee, which were exported to France. This made the economic and monetary system in Togo essential for the growth of the French Empire. Now, let's talk about the market value of the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin. As you can imagine, a coin that is nearly 100 years old, minted in relatively small numbers, and tied to a specific historical period can be quite valuable. The price of this coin varies depending on its condition, rarity, and the current state of the numismatic market. In general, the value of the 1 franc Togo coin ranges from about $10 to $100 in lower grades. However, if you happen to come across a coin in mint condition, one that has been preserved perfectly over the decades, you could be looking at a value of $200 to $300 or even more. On platforms like eBay or specialized numismatic websites, you can find the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin listed for auction or sale. Prices fluctuate, but higher-grade examples or rare varieties can fetch much higher prices. Now, if you happen to find a very rare version of this coin, let's say one with a unique minting error or a particularly low mintage, you could be looking at an even more significant payout. Some of the most valuable Togo coins have been known to reach into the thousands of dollars in rare circumstances. Of course, the real question is, why does this coin have value? After all, it's just a small piece of metal, right? Well, here's the thing. The worth of money, especially rare and historical money, doesn't just lie in its material composition. It lies in the story behind it. The 1 franc Togo coin represents a specific moment in time, a link between the colonial history of Africa and the French Empire, and a symbol of the political and economic systems of the early 20th century. It's part of a much larger narrative about colonialism, trade, and global power dynamics. In that sense, the value of the 1 franc Togo coin isn't just measured by its face value or by its market price today. It's about understanding what it represents, a connection to a period in history, a reminder of colonial power structures, and the way that money has always been an essential part of human societies and economies. So, what's the takeaway here? Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the 1 franc 1925 Togo coin is a fascinating piece of history to explore. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of world economies, the influence of empires, and the enduring appeal of collecting rare artifacts. If you're interested in collecting coins like this one, always be sure to do your research. Pay attention to the condition, rarity, and the historical significance of the coin, because sometimes, what seems like a small piece of metal can be a gateway into a much bigger story. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found this coin interesting, or if you have any rare coins in your collection, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video about coins, history, and valuable artifacts. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and rare coins in numismatic history, the 10 franc coin from 1915, minted in Togo. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's so special about a 10 franc coin from over a century ago? Well, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll have a much better understanding of why this particular coin is so sought after by collectors and what makes it a valuable piece of history. From its origins to its modern market value, we'll cover it all. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's dive right in. To understand the value of the 1915 10 franc coin from Togo, we first need to understand the historical backdrop against which it was minted. The story starts in the early 20th century, during a time of global political upheaval and colonial expansion. Let's take a step back and look at the colonial history of Togo. Togo, located on the west coast of Africa, was a German colony from the late 19th century until World War I. As part of the German Empire's efforts to establish a presence in Africa, Togo was one of several colonies that would later become significant in the world's broader colonial history. During this period, the German government issued its own currency in Togo, much like other European colonial powers did in their respective territories. In 1915, however, the situation was far from stable. World War I was raging across Europe, and Germany's control over its colonies was being threatened by the Allied powers. During this time, the 10 franc coin was produced under German rule in Togo. This coin wasn't just a piece of currency. It was a symbol of the geopolitical shifts occurring at the time. But how did this particular coin come into existence? Let's take a look at the design and the fascinating story behind its minting. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1915 10 franc coin from Togo. This coin is part of a series of colonial issues struck by Germany during its rule over Togo and other territories. The design elements of this coin are as unique as the historical context in which it was produced. On the obverse, we have the inscription Deutsches Reich, meaning German Empire, along with the year 1915 and the denomination of 10 franc. What stands out here is the use of a familiar German imperial eagle, a symbol of the German Empire at the time. The eagle is facing to the left, with its wings spread wide, clutching a scepter and an olive branch. This was a standard symbol of imperial power, and it really highlights Germany's colonial ambitions. On the reverse side, we see the inscription Togo, along with the minting year, 1915. The reverse also features a beautiful and simple design. The central 10 franc denomination is surrounded by a laurel wreath, another symbol of victory and power. This design represents both the currency's use in Togo and its connection to the German Empire during the height of its colonial influence. The coin itself is made of bronze, and its weight and size were ideal for everyday use during that time. In terms of dimensions, the 10 franc coin has a diameter of about 30 millimeters, which was consistent with other coins of the era. Now that we understand the design, let's talk about the historical significance of this coin. As we mentioned, the 1915 10 franc coin was minted during a time of immense political turmoil. World War I was in full swing, and the Allied forces had started making moves against German colonies, including Togo. By 1914, British and French forces began to invade the German colonies in West Africa. Just a year later, in 1915, Germany lost control of Togo, and it was placed under British and French administration. With the fall of German Togo, the 1915 10 franc coin ceased to be used in the colony. The coin quickly became a relic of a bygone era, and as a result, it is considered highly rare today. Most of the coins minted during the German colonial period in Togo were either melted down or destroyed, further increasing their scarcity. This makes the 1915 tin franc an extremely valuable item for collectors. And that's not all. The significance of the coin grows even further when you consider its market value today. If you're wondering how much this coin is worth in today's world, you're not alone. Let's talk about how this rare piece of history is valued. Now, when it comes to the market value of the 1915 Togo tin franc coin, there's a lot to consider. The value can vary depending on the condition of the coin, its rarity, and the demand from collectors. But one thing's for sure, this coin is highly sought after. At the time of writing, a 1915 tin franc coin in good condition can fetch anywhere from several $100s to over $1,000, depending on its grade. Coins in mint condition, or those that are graded as uncirculated, can command prices in the range of $2,000 or more, especially if they are part of a rare or unique series. However, these high-value coins are incredibly rare and are usually only available in specialized auctions or from private collectors. But why is this coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to its rarity. As we mentioned, the vast majority of these coins were melted down or lost after World War I. Because very few have survived in good condition, collectors are willing to pay a premium for one of these pieces of history. Additionally, the coin is highly prized by collectors of German colonial coins, African numismatics, and World War I memorabilia. So, how can you get your hands on a 1915 Togo tin franc coin, and how do you know if it's genuine? First, it's important to know where to look. Specialized numismatic dealers, online auction sites like eBay, and rare coin shows are some of the best places to find this coin. But as with any rare item, there are counterfeits out there, so it's crucial to buy from reputable sources. When buying a coin like the 1915 Togo tin franc, always ask for certification from a recognized grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations can verify the authenticity and grade of the coin, ensuring that you're getting what you're paying for. Additionally, it's important to look for signs of wear, mint marks, and other details that can help determine whether the coin is genuine. If you're not experienced with coin authentication, consider reaching out to an expert to help guide you through the process. In conclusion, the 1915 tin franc coin from Togo is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a rare and highly collectible item that tells the story of a colonial empire, a world war, and the shifting political landscape of the early 20th century. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a history enthusiast, this coin is a fascinating addition to any collection.so. What do you think? Have you ever come across a 1915 Togo tin franc coin? Or do you have one in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of rare coins and numismatics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.